Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to vlog 81 and welcome to another one of our Kuwait apartments. We've actually just taken on 4 new luxury apartments in Kuwait City today, and this is one of them. It's got an amazing backdrop, and that window, I know you can't see because it's dark, but that window overlooks the Kuwait Towers, which is the massive landmark in Kuwait. It also overlooks the city this way and the sea this way. It's like, God, well, not the sea, the Gulf, but my God, you could not get better views. So really excited to be taking on these new apartments. So thank you for coming back. This is vlog 81, and as you'll know from the last few vlogs, this is my time back after a month sabbatical. Can I call it that? Just a month of not vlogging. It's not really anything to shout home about. So yeah, I was speaking last night about I'd been out for a conversation. I've been out for dinner with a really good friend of mine, Emma, and just how great the conversation was and how amazing it is to speak to somebody about ideas and about business growth rather than the usual stuff that you end up talking about, which is, you know, moaning about your day and all that kind of stuff, and how actually important that is to business. And when I did the vlog the night before, I was talking through a couple of reasons why I had actually stopped vlogging. And I wanted to go into one of those reasons a bit more in depth tonight with you, because it's actually something which I was speaking about. I have a business coach, and it was actually something I was speaking about with my business coach today, and it's to do with authenticity. And one of the reasons that I stopped vlogging was because I was finding that I was trying to kind of come up with content and it wasn't really authentic. I mean, it was, because to be honest, if I couldn't come up with content, I just wouldn't do one. So every vlog that I did was genuinely authentic. I never made any of it up, and it's all unscripted. But the worry that I had and I was beginning to have was, it was getting to like 10 o'clock at night and I couldn't be bothered putting my face on for the camera and getting dressed up and doing my hair and all this kind of stuff. And that led to a very interesting conversation today between myself and my coach about how you present yourself and how you turn up. And we've spoke about this before in terms of how there's a double standard between women and men. Everybody has the iconic view of Steve Jobs in jeans, trainers and a polo neck, right? Now that's fine because that's Steve Jobs, but he always dressed like that. He dressed like that before he was Steve Jobs, you know? And I wonder what the impression would be if I walked into a meeting with a CEO of a company the size of Apple and he had on jeans and a polo shirt. I don't think I would mind. I think especially if it was in the tech sector, I think I would actually probably expect it. And funnily enough, it's almost as if the world has now turned on its head. When you're in a room, the guys in the suits are usually the poorest guys in the room. It's the guys who don't care, who have on polo shirts or open neck shirts with no tie, jeans, you know, loafers, that kind of thing. It's those guys because they don't need to flaunt their wealth, because we now live in an age where it's not about that anymore. It's not classy to wear your wealth, if you like. So when you're going into a meeting with somebody and he comes in Steve Jobs dressed attire, would I still take him seriously? Absolutely, 100%. Because for me, a first impression is all about how welcoming and how you know, sort of interested and how sort of courteous somebody is when I meet them. So for example, asking, how are you doing? Did you find it okay? Really nice to have you here. I instantly have a great first impression of them. If somebody's dressed immaculately, but they're standoffish and rude and give me the impression that they think I'm beneath them, I have a terrible first impression of them. I don't care what I'm wearing. I don't care what they're wearing. And I think that can be said for most interactions with male CEOs. As a female or as a male, I'm sure we don't really care what the guy is wearing. We don't really care what he looks like. We care what he's got to say. I don't know if that's the same for females, and this is a very thin line, because I don't know whether it's not the same because of my interpretation of how I should dress as a female, or I don't know if it's the same because of the response I've had from males when I don't dress to impress, you know? And I definitely wouldn't go into a business meeting with jeans and a polo neck on, but I haven't into a business meeting with jeans before. I've been in with skinny jeans, boots. I've just went in feeling comfortable. I have not to this day went into a business meeting in a suit. I just don't wear suits. I've worn a nice skirt and a blouse and stuff like that, but I've never wore a kind of power suit. And the interesting thing about when we were discussing about authenticity was, is it that when I'm not dressed in a power suit, or when I'm not dressed, how I visualise a female international CEO to dress? Is it that I don't feel as powerful and as appropriate to that level of discussion? Is it that I don't feel it, or is it that other people don't see it? And I'm not really sure what the answer is to that, but I think when it comes to dressing for the meeting that you're going to, dress so that you're not going to let yourself down. But apart from that, it's more important what you're saying and what the content is and what you're there to do. If you're there to do genuinely good work and you're dynamic and you're engaging and you're interested and you're full of personality and you love what you do and you're passionate, that comes across no matter what you're wearing. And I think especially as a female in the business world, that's really, really important to remember, because it's so easy to lose yourself amongst everybody else's interpretations and expectations of what you should be. And you don't need to be like that. I don't believe you need to be like that to be successful. There's going to be plenty of people out there who will knock you for how you look. I have been reading with absolute horror today the horrible things that are happening to Leslie Jones, the comedian, who is a very, very funny comedian on SNL. I don't watch TV, but my one guilty pleasure on YouTube is SNL. I watch them constantly. Dream to be a guest host one day, and she's fantastic. She's a great comedian, and she was in Ghostbusters, which is obviously the all-female remake, which really got a lot of men in particular upset. And she's been targeted habitually for how she looks, and particularly for being a woman. And it's horrible to see that happening in today's society. And it reminds you that maybe there's still some work to be done when it comes to looks. And it's not a feminist issue, and it's not something like, that only us women go through, but maybe there's still something to be done when it comes to packaging versus content. And I think all we can do to win that battle is to make sure that we're not relying on how things look. We're not relying on things coming in a nice shiny bow. We're relying on being true to ourselves. And if I'm from a working class background in the outskirts of Glasgow, you won't get me turning up to a CEO meeting pretending that I was born in, I don't know, Surrey, where's the, so that, because it's not me. So it's definitely a double-edged sword. It's a very thin line between the two, and I'd be really, really keen to hear your comments below. But I think the only advice I could give you on the subject, which comes from my heart, is me being me has not done me any disservice. Anybody who's not wanted to work with me, or who has underestimated me or undervalued me because of either how I look, how I talk, what sex I am, what age I am, or any of those reasons, anybody who has perhaps judged me in that, it's not made any difference to my journey. I'm still where I am regardless of these people. I can think of a few people that possibly have, but they're so insignificant that it's not made any difference. So if you're in that position, if you're feeling that you can't compete because there's something that you have that's essentially you, that's holding you back, use that as actually your skill. That's your niche. Me coming to Kuwait as a single female, everybody back home was so worried about me. It's actually stood me in good stead. Not single in terms of the unmarried part and stuff like that. It's not I'm here looking for a date. What I mean is coming out here myself, because people in Kuwait look at that and go, that's pretty brave of you, that's a good move. Maybe we wouldn't have done that. And they give you more time and they listen to what you're saying, because they think, my God, that was quite a ballsy move coming all the way over here. Same as if a female CEO came over to Glasgow and was setting up a business, oh my God, good for you, coming to a new place, getting to know new people, how can I help? So use what you think is a disadvantage to your advantage. Stay authentic, be real to yourself, because everybody else is taken. And if you find that you're in a situation where what you've got isn't what they're looking for, maybe they're not the people that you should be working with. Don't be scared to stand up, walk out, and go find somebody else who appreciates you for who you are, and make sure that you develop that uniqueness into your brand and into your company identity. Because when your company tries to be the same as everybody else, it doesn't stand out. Your company does something different and it stands out above the masses. So why not do the same with yourself? Do the same with your personal branding. Find what it is that makes you different. and shout about it. And definitely don't trade in the polo neck for a power suit just yet. Okay, I'm away for a Thursday night out in Kuwait, and it was great talking to you again. I'll speak to you tomorrow night. Okay, have a good one. Bye bye.